Hey y'all. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. You know, technology can be that way sometimes. It is Monday, and I truly hope that thus far, although it's the beginning of the week, that it has not been too bad. So, it is Maternal Mental Health Week. Hey Lisa. Hey Church Mom. So, I'm going to give maybe 1 or 2 minutes and let people jump on before I hop right into it. Y'all know I like to get going. So, how's y'all Monday been going so far? I'm pretty sure it has been busy with this being the first day, the kickoff to all of this. But yeah, it can be that way. So keep that whole energy because we got like a whole week to keep it going. So I can only imagine. Well, we'll get started. I know as more people come on, I'll be able to loop back around, so it's all good. So I'm going to talk about self-care and what self-care looks like and how simple it is to be able to center yourself. When you hear the word center, like that's a huge thing. Like when you think about center, so if you look at a circle, right? And a circle has all these things around it, and your goal is to get to the middle of it. Meaning you got to work through all of these things just to get to the middle. How hard is that? Very difficult. So we're always looking for good, easy, quick ways. Nothing's really quick, but good, easy ways that we can center ourselves and put ourselves first. And one of the things that I've talked about previously is learning how to be selfish, and that's okay because it has the word self in it, right? So it's about you being able to do for you before you're able to do for others. And that's something that I think that we miss a lot of times in what self-care actually looks like. It's exactly what the word says, self, meaning you, not everybody else, but you. So putting yourself first and then being able to help everybody else around you. And how do you do that? Like sometimes we need structure, and structure is okay. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to figure it out on your own or do what it is you need to do. Actually, it's just some guidelines that you can use, and we all need help. So these guidelines are just a form of me helping you to start to put yourself first. So the very first thing is one, check yourself, not anybody else. Check yourself. And what does that look like? How am I feeling today? The key word in that sentence is I. How am I feeling today? Both mentally and physically. So that's important because there's no physical health without addressing our mental health. So those two things go together. So how am I feeling today, both mentally and physically? And then there has to be an action step after that. So after you ask yourself, like, how am I actually feeling today? Like, what does that look like? The next thing you need to be asking yourself is what changes can I make that are necessary to make me either feel better or continue to keep that energy? Because we don't always want to look at it from a negative point of view. Like when I ask myself, how am I mentally feeling and physically feeling, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I feel bad. It doesn't have to be that. You could be feeling great. So what we want to do is keep that same energy and keep that going, right? Because sometimes we struggle to try to figure out like, man, I had like such a great day yesterday, and then here we are today and everything is falling apart. Like what happened, right? And so when you're asking yourself how are you feeling both mentally and physically, and then following up about what kind of changes what kind of necessary changes can I make to either, again, combat what is happening and it's making you uncomfortable, or to keep the good energy going. So finding your balance. And that is what the first step is to check yourself. How are you feeling physically and how you're feeling mentally, and then what can you do to either fix it if you're not feeling great, or what can you do to keep that good energy flowing. So those things are important. So what these 5 steps is overall will do is help you find a balance. Like, we're all looking for balance. Things are so out of order and out of whack right now for all of us, no matter like who you are, where you are. Things are not necessary in this straight and narrow, maybe something that you're used to. So these 5 steps will kind of get you there to help you find that balance you may be looking for. So number 2 is time management. Although we have a little extra time on our hands, maybe not. Typically we do. I think things have changed overall. In the midst of this pandemic, and some of us have had this freed up time, and then some of us have not. And so time management is important all the way across the board. And it's when you're evaluating what time management looks like, the very question you need to ask yourself is, what's taking up most of my time? If I'm saying I don't have time for this, maybe I should look at the overarching view of what is happening, because maybe some things need to be eliminated and taken away so that you do have time for maybe the things that you want. So you should be making time for the things that you want and the things that you need. Those 2 things are important. Not one without the other. A lot of times we operate from a need mindset, but we also should be able to get what we want, right? Because a lot of us are out here working hard and doing our best, and we need to get some things that we want, not just the things that we need. So again, finding that balance is not having like you're sacrificing, right? Because a lot of times when we're just doing what we need, that's like a sacrifice. And like getting what we want is a reward, when we should be looking for a balance. So getting what you want and also getting what you need. That is extremely important when we're talking about time management. And then the next one is a big one. You should be asking yourself, did I eat a real meal today? Have I eaten? So for me, I had asked myself that maybe about an hour or so ago, when I was thinking like, why am I'm a little hungry. And I'm thinking, no, but I ate breakfast. And then I stopped and I was like, actually, you do not eat breakfast. You had coffee. And although coffee is king and queen and princess, we have got to stop and eat. Let me see if my friend Nicole is on here, and she is the queen to always say, did you eat? Have you eaten a real meal? Like, that's important. But she also knows that coffee is king, queen, and everything in between. So I'm not saying that you can't have your coffee. Let's be clear about that. And if anybody's telling y'all can't have coffee, you stay away from those people. You don't need that. Coffee is a good thing. It's just coffee in moderation. That's the thing. So it's about how many cups of coffee are you having. This is how I gauge it. You can follow me if you like. I gauge my coffee by sizes. I have a regular size coffee cup, and then I have a large size coffee cup. I try to use my large coffee cup maybe 3 times a week, maybe more, depending on how heavy my week is, but somewhere in between that. And then I may switch out for some tea if I had maybe 2 cups of large coffee. So the next day I'm going to have tea. See, I'm finding my balance. So this morning I simply only had coffee, and then I got to work, right? And so midday I'm thinking, why am I so hungry? Like, I'm really thinking like, oh, well, that's because you didn't get actual breakfast. You just had coffee and then you started working. So it could have been, although this has, I checked myself in the middle of the day, this could have been after 5 o'clock where I'm thinking, wow, I have not eaten anything today. I need to fix that. So being able to stop in the midst of all of the craziness that is going on, we got to stop and ask ourselves, did we eat today? Like, eating nourishment for you is very, very important. I know that we are running and doing all of these things and so many things at one time. But it is important that we actually stop and eat something and not let our bodies go the entire day or late into the evening before we actually eat something. So eating something, taking that time out to take that break is another form of self-care. Nicole says Mama's Voice says I had to cut back a smidge with my French press. Let's not get crazy. Well, you have a French press. I mean, that's fancy. I'm just saying that's real coffee right there. So yeah, probably do, because putting a coffee in the Keurig with a little cup and then having a French press, yeah, those are different types of coffee and different types of hyped up energy. So yes. Chesh Mom says you'll be using that every day this week. Probably, yes. Yes, Lisa, coffee, yes, with the coffee cup. Yes, gotta have it. I mean, again, if you're hanging around people who don't believe in coffee, you stay away from all that negative energy, because they're not right. JT Paranel, yes, that is. I see. That's some real fancy coffee when you have a French press. I'm just saying. So the next one is just like right now, the energy. Check your energy. Like, your energy levels are so very important. Needing to ask yourself, am I tired? Do I need to take a break? When you need to take a break, take a break. Do not let that overlap and go on, because then maybe here it is Monday, right? And you got low energy. You may carry that into Tuesday. It may not be till Wednesday before you get this flow going, right? But check that every day. Check and see if you just need to take a break. Like, why is my energy low? Maybe I didn't do something that I normally did, right? So typically I don't skip breakfast. It really depends on how fast I need to jump into my day, but I usually try to give myself at least an hour and a half before my day starts, so that I do. But today it didn't happen like that, right? But by midday, I certainly acknowledge that, I need to slow down and eat something, right? Because my energy level was down. I knew I had to get on this camera. That is so important when to check your energy levels, because we've all like switched into, whether you're the person that's doing the live video or you're the person that's watching the live video. My thing is all about quality. Like, if I know that I have to get on here and do videos, I want to make sure that I'm giving you energy, that you feel like you're sitting right here next to me, and so that comes through the screen. But if I'm not taking care of myself, I cannot take care of you as the person that is coming and watching this live video looking for something that you may need, right? So I cannot pour from an empty cup, no matter how many cups of coffee I have drank. I cannot pour from an empty cup. So if I have not given to myself first, I cannot give to others. And I recognize and acknowledge that. So the point in these 5 steps is to get you to recognize that and to honor that for yourself, is that you cannot give to others if you have not first given to yourself. Yes, I do too, Cherish Mom. I really do wish that we were all sitting next to each other. I'm a hugger, so I'm certainly missing hugging on everybody. But when it's safe and it's all good, because I'm not doing no hugging with gloves on and mask on. So yeah, I won't be doing hugging until hugging is free to be like it was before this pandemic happened. So yes, I am certainly missing being able to interact and being able to interact and like actually feel people, because sometimes we need that energy. We do need that energy transfer. You never know what people are needing, and this is exactly why this energy level check is important, because sometimes if you're down and I'm up, your energy may transfer to me, and then who wants 2 people that are down, right? Like, we need to be lifting each other up. So when we're doing this, when we're taking care of ourselves, I may need a little bit, you may need a little bit, and then we give to each other, right? And then we'll both fill back up, and then we can continue to pour out into others. So that is important. Like, fill yourself up first. Make sure that you're good. Check your energy. And then you'll be able to give in a way that surpasses all. Like, that is so important. That's the quality of giving, right? Some of us are givers, but we want to make sure that we're giving quality. And we can't do that when we're down ourselves. So get help for you first. fill you up. Make sure, again, that you are asking yourself, are you mentally and physically good? And then if you're not, what do you need to do to change that? Like, let's do some immediate changing, like on the spot. Your time management, managing your time, figuring out what things need to go and what things needs to get done and what things can maybe wait to the long one, right? And then when did you eat? Making sure that you have this nourishment that you need for yourself, and then checking your energy and knowing when you need to take a nap. I know when we were kids, let me reframe that. Others did maybe not like to take naps. When I was a kid, I was always ready to go get my towel and go lay down. So I'm a napper. I may be queen of the naps. I'm just saying, I'm going to get my rest in as much as possible, but napping. So if I'm not getting my 8 hours, I know for sure that day I took a nap. Naps are important. Naps, actually, if you're sleeping, because we've done a sleep study, if you're sleeping at least 26 minutes, it will change your life. That is not even a half hour. All of that to reboost you, re-energize you, and you wake up like renewed. So taking that break is necessary. Take you a nap. Don't skip a nap time if you can get it in. It is very necessary. It's kind of like one of those things that's mandatory versus optional. A lot of things we have to look at with these 5 steps that I went through. All of these things are mandatory. These are not optional. These are things that you need to do for yourself so that you can honestly, truly say that I am implementing self-care for myself. So these things are mandatory, y'all, not optional. When we go and give so much of ourselves, our energy is drained. We must recharge. Yes, we have to recharge. That's mandatory. That's not optional. Because when you treat these things as optional, your body suffers for it. You suffer for it, both physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. All of these things start to suffer. So making these things a mandatory part of your day and who you are, and just going through these things will change you overall. And then productivity is the 5th one. Listen, I'm going to go slow with this. What will I participate and engage in today that will make me happy? Well, will I participate and engage? So I'm not just going to show up. I'm going to actually engage. And will it make me happy? So when you get to productivity and the things that are consuming your time or maybe taking up, this is when you ask yourself, am I participating in and engaging in something that's making me happy? If I'm participating and engaging in something that is not making me happy, then that is when you say, oh, this was great. I appreciate it, but this is not for me. Be willing to say that, because participating and engaging is an action. And guess what? If you don't have the energy level, if you're not eating when you need to eat, if you're not mentally and physically ready for it, or if you don't have the time management skills, all of that, by the time you get down to productivity, you are not engaging, you are not participating, and you're surely not happy. So all of these things, all of the 4 things before now, lead to your productivity. They will reflect your productivity if you're not doing those other things. Productivity and self-care is an action. All of these things are action. Like, what do I need to do? Whether I need to stop them, change them, all of those things. These are actions. So you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to engage in it. But guess what? It's not for somebody else. It's for you. A lot of times we take our energy and we'll put a lot of energy into what other people need, but we won't put that same energy into ourselves. Well, guess what? Today, if you haven't heard me talk about these 5 steps before, today is the day to start to put yourself first. Think about your self-care. Be selfish. All of these words include self, meaning you, so that all of these 5 things come full circle. And then it'll just become a regular thing that you do. It won't be a second thought. It'll be the only thought. It's hard. And I would not be myself if I didn't admit to say that it's hard. But anything that's hard is at least worth trying and seeing if, hey, can I really this seems like, I mean, I know it's hard, but maybe I can do it. Like, what does that look like? You got to play around with it. But you just using these things as guidelines. This is it. This is just something for you to follow. Work it out how you need to work it out and how it best fits for you. And then you make it come full circle. And then here you are back at the top doing these things, asking yourself these questions, coming up with these solutions that fit into yours. So this is you making a plan for yourself. Because remember, this is self. All of these things are about you, not about anybody else. It's not about your kids. It's not about your husband, mother. It's not about anybody else but you. I am telling you, it is okay to put yourself first. If you do not do it, the only person that suffers from not doing it is you, right? You're the one. You. So this is a look at you. So this is your look in the mirror right now and say, what do I want for myself? Because you deserve it, right? You deserve the same time and energy that you put into others. You deserve it for yourself. So today, if it's not your first day, if it's your second day, if it's your first year, today start with putting yourself first. And it's easy. It becomes easy. It's hard in the beginning because putting yourself first may be a change, and change itself is hard. But the thing about change is that it is the inevitable, and we rather change happen with us versus without us. And so don't be afraid to change. Don't let the fear of changing and what others how they may feel and all of those different things, again, you come first. That's it. That's what self-care is shifting your mindset to be like, I am the most important thing, period. There's no in between, no before, after. I am the most important thing first, and then everybody else comes next. Because when I put myself first, I'm so much better. I feel so much. I'm doing things with a smile, not just doing things because I feel like I have to, because that's what you want me to do. No, I'm really genuinely doing these things because that's something that I want to do, because I'm good, right? I'm recharged. I'm feeling good mentally and physically. I nailed down this time management thing and what that looks like. I've eaten whatever that is, whether it's a really good snack or really good breakfast to get me to a really great dinner. However you mix that up, if you're not a breakfast person and you're a lunch dinner person, just don't go too long without eating something. At least carry some snacks in your purse, like carry snacks for you and maybe carry snacks for the kids. Make sure that you're fueling your body, fueling your mind, and bringing it all full circle and being productive. And that's when it gets easy. When you start to see how these steps go in order and they go in line to get you to the ultimate goal, which is to be able to participate and to be able to engage and to be able to be happy. And that's what self-care is. Self-care is about making yourself happy. And self-care looks like something different for everybody. Self-care does not always look like someone running on the beach. Maybe self-care looks like you pulling up a chair and just looking out the window. Maybe self-care means you get out and you cut the grass, or maybe you go for a ride. Whatever your self-care looks like, it's yours, but you're just going to use these 5 things as your guidelines to make sure that you are full circle taking care of you. And that's what these are. Again, these are 5 steps that will full circle help you to take care of yourself, because we need that. We do want to take care of ourselves. Let's be clear. We do want to take care of ourselves, but sometimes we can get so caught up in what is actually like going on around us that we forget about us because we're taking care of and doing things for everybody else. So self-care, y'all, it's all about you, and that's okay. Being comfortable with it being all about you, and that's not selfish. Selfish includes the word self, so it's all good. It's not a negative. It's actually a positive. So remember that. So self-care, 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 and selfish, selfish, selfish. So I hope that these 5 things have truly helped y'all. I will be sure to post them On our page, the Shades of Blue Project, I will bump it back up to the top so y'all can kind of see the outline. You're more than welcome to snag it from our page and share it and use it. And just utilize these things, y'all, because we do matter. Our physical health matters. Surely our mental health matters all the way across the board. And these things are just going to help you continue to keep that good energy going, because always the goal in everything is to have good energy. And it doesn't have to necessarily be good energy for others. It at least needs to be good energy for you first. And if you have something left over, by all means share it. But if you only have enough for yourself, that is okay until you get to a point where you can share your good energy with others. So yes, thank you, Cherished Moms. She put where to follow us at. We're over at the Shades of Blue Project. We are Black maternal mental health, all 24/7 as much as possible, inclusive of all. We invite all to come over and follow the work that we do. This is always going to be a journey. Just because I have an organization, I'm always going to be a advocate. Started this work from my own personal experience, and so that part of me can never be turned off. So I'm always going to be fighting for us before I fight for us, if that makes sense. So always showing up as an advocate first before I show up as this founder of an organization. And that's extremely important when we're talking about mental health, because we've all struggled in some sense, and maybe we didn't get the type of help that we needed, or we didn't get the type of care that we felt like we should have received. And so I keep those things in mind when I'm serving my clients. I consider women who come to us as my clients, meaning that they're coming to me because they know that I have what it is to either help them at that moment or guide them to something, to somewhere and someone who can help them. So always keep it in mind that I'm always going to be a maternal mental health advocate before I am a founder of the Shades of Blue Project. I do love y'all. I always appreciate being able to come on and share this good energy when I have it. I live by the 5 things that I share with y'all. This is something that I'm sure there are other things out there that exist just like it. We're all on this path to finding our self-care. But when I find something that works for me, I always want to share it, because I want to see us all have this good mental health. Again, I appreciate the invite to come on and share this. Please tag and repost and share with other people so that they can see. And it's Monday, y'all. And so we have a whole week full of other things to come. So stay tuned, keep watching, and we got some more that's coming on after me. So be sure to keep your notifications on. If they're not on, turn them on so you don't miss anything that's going to happen this week. Again, thank y'all. And I want you to have a good rest of the day and a great rest of the week. And I will see y'all over at the Shades of Blue Project.